Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so we've had this ball sitting here for a few hours. Actually, I left it sit overnight. A few hours is plenty of time. You just need to make sure that the putty is dry, and we are going to now sand the rough edges off of these holes that we've drilled and sand these putty areas flush, and then we're going to be ready to put our first base coat of primer. So I use 220 grit sandpaper. This is 3M Pro Grade Precision, just whatever. 220 grit around there is just about right. And you really only need to do just a few passes around each circle. I think I usually do 8 to 16 little circles. And it's just enough to take that lip off of the hole there. When you're doing the putty areas, kind of the same thing. And then you just kind of feel it. If you can still feel it, you just basically repeat that until you can't feel the putty anymore. What you're gonna be left with is if I can get it to focus, a very small white dot of putty that is neither raised nor indented. You want to kind of go easy on it. You don't want to push too hard, or your finger will push down further and cause it to sand out kind of a bowl divot shape. So you're going to kind of have a light touch, just quick circles. All right, let's try doing that again. Perfect. All right, let's do it. Okay, that was exactly 4 minutes worth of sanding, and I'm already tired and I'm already mad and I already hate it. I hate sanding. So, luckily, that's all we have to do. One little spot. All right. Once you get the whole thing done, you're kind of just going over it, feeling for any raised edges. You really just want to take that lip off that was created when you used the stepper bit. That way it's got a nice smooth edge, and then you're feeling for any raised areas. These little puttied areas will show if there's any raised at all or any divot at all. When you put that first coat of primer on there, you're going to be able to see it. If you prime it and you see a big a hole and it bothers you, you can do another little layer of putty, wait a few hours, sand it again, spritz that one little area with primer again, and try it again. But again, Bob Ross, if it's got a little tiny ding in it, don't worry about it, it's okay. The real one's got dings. The weathering, the greeblies, the paint, everything will cover that up. It'll be so busy and detailed and complex and lots of character, you'll never notice that, so don't worry about it. Worry about it if you want to, I don't care. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna take a damp paper towel and wipe all the dust off of this, get it clean, blow it out, make sure there's no dust coming through here. That way, while you're priming it, if this dust comes out and gets all over the primer, it's gonna cause texture, you don't want that. So clean it out, and we are going to do our first base coat of primer. See you in just a bit. All right, guys, we're back in the office now. I went out to the backyard, did a first coat of primer. I had to keep the sound off because my neighbor's dogs are insane. So what I really wanted to make sure that I mentioned was that with primer, light coats, it dries very quickly. So I kind of just do, I don't know if you could see in the video, but just kind of little light passes. And what you're really looking for is just smooth, even coverage, just enough to where the light stops coming through it. If you're outside and you do this in the sunlight, you will be able to see spots where the sunlight is coming through one of the holes and lighting up the inside of the ball. So it's actually a pretty good indicator whether you've got enough paint or not. Just kind of keep doing that until it becomes opaque. You want to do this so that when we put all the parts on and paint it, and when you're finally done and you light it up, the only light that comes out is through the rims and the tank tracks. If you skip this step, or if you don't do it good coverage, you're gonna have a leaky ball in terms of, that sounds bad, leaky balls. In terms of light showing through, you don't want it to do that. You don't want the light to show through cracks in the parts or through spots in the paint. So you're gonna prime everything first, make the ball opaque. That way you're all good. So I'm gonna let this sit for just a couple of hours. Primer doesn't take that long to dry. You can wait over a day, but I just usually let it sit for a couple of hours, and then we're ready to start putting parts on. So I'm going to go hang this on my fancy drying rack, and we'll talk to you in a bit.